Welcome back to another episode of Wheel to Wheel.
Here we are.
It's so
Post Italian Grand Prix, baby. Post Monza.
post Italian Grand Prix. Uh, Great race. I
Always.
I enjoyed it. For our little friendly competition that we're doing, which we reset because I was smoking your ass, bro.
I quit. I
Yeah,
had
it
to
was
quit.
28-11. You quit. Now it's 5-0 you. No points for anybody. You predicted Lando, Oscar, Charles. I predicted Oscar, Lando, Max. I had the top three, but in the wrong order.
But we'd make the point that you did predict the pole sitter correctly.
Yeah, I maybe like we include like a poll prediction, who gets poll, and then if you're the losing team for the week, you get an extra point.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think pole should be an
It's
extra
like
point.
fastest lap back in the day. That's what it should be like.
Yeah. Before they ruined
Okay.
fastest
Yeah, yeah,
lap.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Cool.
is. It's exactly
Cool, cool,
like
cool.
that.
Let's do that. All right. So yeah, no points for anybody. Still 5-0. Moving on to Azerbaijan in not this weekend, but next weekend. Let's do a little race review. Let's start from the top. Max Verstappen with the win, as we just talked about, qualified fastest, and then just kind of held it out there. He did get overtaken once by Lando, correct?
Yes,
And
but then
then,
came back so
yeah,
strong.
yeah. And then he immediately overtook it again. And you're like, well, it's of course, because Max owns
Of course.
Lando.
It's Max. He's in
Yeah.
his head rent free. He's always there. And if Lando sees Max in the mirrors, it's over. Like,
Yeah.
besides that, incredible weekend for them in general. Like crazy way to pull the pole. I mean, like we said, it was vintage Max. Like the
Last
timer
second.
ran out. He was the last person on track, and
Yeah.
he nails a fastest lap. Like that is awesome. I'm not the biggest Max fan in the world. I do love to see that as long as it's not every weekend.
Yeah. I used to be a huge Max hater. I'm kind of finding myself like him more.
I'm the same way.
I think it's just like with age. He's like beer. It's like you start off and you're like, ugh, what the heck?
Ugh.
Why would you ever? And then you start sipping it on a nice summer hot day, and you're like, time and place. It's time and place for this guy. So
Time
I
and place.
I liked it a lot. Now we get to the meat and potatoes, as they say.
Oh
Second
man.
place, Lando Norris. Third place, Oscar Piastri. I've seen every podcast do a review on this. P1
Yeah.
kind of hit it perfectly where it was an overreaction on purpose where he goes, okay, so you're telling me last race of the season, the difference in the two of them is 3 points for the Drivers' Championship. Lando's holding the lead.
And
He
they
gets a
flip.
slow pit stop. Oscar goes through,
Yeah.
or vice versa is how they described it. Is Lando going to give that spot back because of the pit stop? And then
Heck no.
everybody's like, heck no, there's no way. And he goes, okay, so then where's the line? He's like, is that the line? Like, what's the line here? Because
I don't know where the line is. I mean,
Exactly.
all that did is confuse everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they even put the mic of Max on, and he goes, they told him they
it
flipped
was so
whatever.
funny.
He literally laughed. He was like, "Huh? Really?"
While he's
Because of the
driving,
slow
by the
pit
way.
stop. Yeah, as he's
He's still
falling through
mid-race.
Monza, he's laughing at McLaren about that decision. That is
Yeah.
outrageous. That is the worst call I've ever seen strategy-wise. A slow pit stop is part of the game. The same reason why before Fernando had to retire because of suspension failure, which was a shame because he was having a great race.
Yep.
He slammed him on, locked up, got right on Bortoletto's butt, and then made an overtake because he had a faster pit stop. It's part of the sport. You
Yeah.
have to let that play out.
So if they're two competing cars, remove the livery and they're two competing cars, that's allowed. But
Yeah.
that was
All day.
dramatic. Also, it's stupid because
Crazy.
the point differentials was over 30 going into this race, if I'm not
Yeah.
incorrect. So it was just so dumb. Oscar Piastri, by the way, class act. I mean, it'll probably come back to help him if they're going to make stupid decisions like this, where it's like, hey,
Yeah.
by the way, let Oscar through. He's the champ, whatever. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
Oscar, we know we screwed you over that time, so we're gonna let you get in there this time.
Yeah. So I don't know. So stupid. Charles Leclerc, fourth place, though. You're probably happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, can't be mad. It was a solid race. They kept the cars on the track and they both finished. I mean, it was a good race from the red guys in general. I thought Lewis did a heck of a job. I was a little pissed because he got on George quite a few times, like got up to like about DRS and then had to back off. So I don't know if they were having tire issues, uh, overheating, you name it. Any of that is possible at that track because they're running flat out the majority of the lap. Like it's hard to keep a car cool there.
Mhm.
Um, But it was good. Lewis looked really racy, I thought. I mean, maybe he should get a penalty more often, and he finishes above seventh place. I mean,
I feel like
I don't know how
he
we
really
play
does have
that.
his best. Sorry, I just cut you off fully.
No, go.
I was just gonna say, he definitely has his best races when he like starts P15.
Yeah, he's got something to prove.
I
Like
know.
he if there's something being held against him, he's like, oh, maybe I'll drive like Lewis Hamilton today.
Well, yeah,
Otherwise, he's timid.
it's like the edge, and I think that was like the whole reason why he was so great. It was because everything was stacked against him. Like obviously, he talks about it all the time, where he's like, "Hey, by the way, there's not a lot of dudes that look like me on the
Yeah.
paddock, by the way." And it's like a
Yep.
bunch of things like that. That's his edge, and that's his thing. Oh, by the way, I'm 7-time world champ. It's like that's his thing, and I just feel like we don't see it unless he gets a tough start, and he's like, "Oh, you
Right.
guys just think I'm out of it now." And then he races like a freak. So yes, he finishes sixth. My prediction is always seventh for Lewis, so he proved me
Yep.
wrong. Good for Lewis. George Russell's in fifth place. I feel like George hasn't touched podium in a couple
Yeah, it's been a
races,
while.
which is interesting. The Mercedes is kind of having a weird midseason slump. It feels like.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's because, and we talked about this in a previous episode, and a lot of people already know this in general, but it's because they put that upgrade package on. It was awful, and they
mhm.
reverted back to this old car. The problem is when you do that, you switch the car, then you have to backtrack. So you don't. It's two steps forward, or honestly, in that case, one step forward, two steps back,
Yeah,
because then you lose ground on developing the
exactly.
car.
Because everybody else is
That
still
quick.
developing to the next gens,
Right.
and you're stuck on whatever gen that was. Yeah, it's a very good point. I did want to touch on one more thing before we move on to the lower half of the points. Max Verstappen, I think I heard them discussing, he was talking to the team principal and everybody. This is like the first time they were able to nail the car build for the track. It was the first time they're able to like actually hit it head on, like, hit the head on the nail and basically get like whatever better downforce or whatever they needed in this track.
Yeah.
Like they had it perfectly set up and it actually worked and it was as designed and as they wanted it to be. And in my head, I said, okay, cool. This is the trend we keep seeing. Race engineer type brains becoming team principals, and then they just have an idea of what the car is. Instead of just
Yeah.
being like, I want the car to do this, it's somebody who's been boots on ground, who has built cars, has worked on cars, and helped them get the cars to where they need to be. So a dude that can hop in the garage with the drivers and go, oh, this piece, maybe we, switch this out, maybe tune this, tilt this, whatever they do. That's kind of just what it felt like, where
No,
they just
that's so valid.
they just
I mean,
operated, and that was it. There was no
right.
fluff. It was just like, hey, let's make the car best for this track right now, and that's what they did.
Right. There's nothing surrounding it. I mean, to your point, these guys, like, as they work their way up the ladder, like you just said, I mean, they may be like a freaking tire boy at some point and then work their way up, figure out some engineering stuff. Oftentimes, too, these guys have been a race engineer talking to a driver.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to a driver or you are a driver and you can understand how these cars work, it gives you a leg up. I mean, you know that you've been on the mic with, could be freaking Logan Sargent, but if he went to the same track 3 years in a row at the same team and said the balance is off, or we don't have enough downforce, or there's not enough in the back, like stuff like that, you're going to know going into that, okay, look, here's what, like, here's factual based stuff that we can try to improve the car this week.
Yeah,
You go in with prior knowledge that should set you up for success, and
yeah.
that's what they did.
And I mean, we see that at Haas, we see that at Williams, and now at Red Bull. So it's cool to see. I kind of like when that happens. I feel like that happens every once in a while in certain sports where like a certain type of coach or a certain type of principal is like the dominant one for the time being. So, and I bet it'll help a lot with the new cars coming and somebody that actually has a good engineering brain and an understanding on how those things work. Speaking of Williams, Alex Albon with
Yeah, what a
another
race.
great race. He started P14 behind his teammate and P7.
Yeah,
Good points. 6 points. He passed. We were talking about this before the podcast. He passed Kimi
Kimmy.
Antonelli.
Yep.
He's now, I believe, seventh in the driver's standings as well. He
Yep.
is with 70 points. Lewis Hamilton has 117. Don't think he'll catch him unless he sneaks in a podium, which honestly, Isaac got a podium. Nico got a podium. I feel
Yeah.
like
We're due for one more.
consistency-wise, Albon's been driving better than both of them.
Well, the Williams is going to fly at Azerbaijan, at Baku.
I
That
hope
track
so.
is, I
Well,
mean, that's just a fast track. There's a couple low speed turns, but Williams gets up to speed and keeps it, dude. Like that front straight, that pit straight is 5 miles long.
Yeah.
Like Williams will make up ground there. You have DRS zone out of turn 2 as well, going down to turn 3. You kind of got like a quicker left than a right, if I remember right. And then you get into where Charles ran into the castle. So it's a fast track.
I
Williams
love
should do
that.
well there.
Yeah, I'm excited. I really would love a cheeky podium for him. We've seen a couple already, which has made this year just so fun. I hope it's not a podium off of an engine failure from a top leader. That just makes it
Dude, it
feel.
doesn't matter.
I know, but it's just I would like it to be like he's literally racing them and he's in third place and he's just hauling and they just can't catch him because they go fast straight. So, eighth place Bortoleto. Bortoletto's been driving the shit out of that car.
Yeah, he's been
He
balling.
really
I'm
has.
so happy for him.
I know.
I'm stoked for him.
So that was awesome. Happy to see Kimmy back in the points.
Look
And
at 8,
then
9, 10. Just look at that. 3 rookies.
I know. And then Hadjar
3
had a
dudes in the points.
horrible qualifying.
Yeah.
And all the memes were Hadjar knew he had to do something bad just so they wouldn't pull him up. They're like he had to tank something. So
he had to choke a little bit, and he's like, "All right, I'll squeeze out one point.
all right. I'll just go
do the
from
bare minimum."
yeah. I'll just do 19 to 10th place.
Yeah, sure.
Carlos Sainz out of the points again, just barely. Devastating, bro. He's just getting tough luck. It really feels like that. So
He's not.
not
It'll
having
flip.
fun.
Yeah, it'll flip. Whether it flips this year or next year, it doesn't matter. I mean, it will flip. The dude is proven driver.
And I think I mean, I obviously follow Williams the heaviest. So watching pressers and just like team meetings, and they're literally like joking about how Alex's year last year was Carlos's year this year. And they're like, well, hey, look, Alex figured it out. Just like ask Alex how he got rid of it. They're like, well, he was visiting a bunch of temples in like Singapore or whatever it was. And they're like, maybe you should do what he was doing. So, I mean, they're laughing at it. They know it's a bummer, but at the same time, they understand the project. So I'm excited to see him. Hey, maybe Carlos cheeky podium. I'd rather see Albon up there because it's been so long. But,
Carlos podium would be raw.
But dude, I only a guy can dream. So
speaking of Carlos, did you see the in lap after the race? You had Williams, or I'm sorry, Lewis and Charles like doing the in lap. So the Ferrari people are going freaking crazy, right? Screaming all this shit. Carlos is right behind them, and they're cheering just as much for Carlos.
Oh, yeah.
Like once a Ferrari driver, always a Ferrari driver. They still love him. I mean, didn't put
probably
himself
take
out
him back.
They'd take him back in 1 second right now.
Yeah. Well, I think I always wonder. I'm like, I saw a clip of pre-race. It was Lewis and James catching up. Obviously, they know each other. James was race engineer for the World Championship team. And it was like a bunch of jokes about being like, Lewis is like, hey, just like swap seats with me and Carlos. I would much rather be in your car right now. Like I probably know how to drive that car a lot better than I know how to drive the Ferrari and vice versa. Right. So I don't know. I think that's so cool and so interesting. I would love to hear like a driver really dive into specifically like the Mercedes type power units versus like a Ferrari and just see like a technical breakdown of truly what the difference is between those two cars, because it seems like Ferrari just does their own thing, which doesn't shock me at all. But like
they absolutely do.
But that's why Charles is the Ferrari guy, because he was driving for Alpha, and Alpha had a Ferrari engine and probably similar setup when they were like the feeder team. So I don't know, 100%. Man. But that's the point score. I'm trying to think if there's any headlines really outside of.
I mean, you had your 2 DNFs. Shameful was the 2 old guys that have both been doing that. I mean, Nico had a rough qualifying, if I can recall correctly,
which is rare.
Yeah, I know.
That
kind of leads you to believe something was off with that, with his car specifically, because Bortoleto drove the hell out of it.
Yep.
Fernando, like I said, super unfortunate. They showed that in slow-mo. He took like part of that ribbed curb, and I mean, it just blew his suspension up. Like there's not, I don't know if there's any real rhyme or reason as to, does that happen often? Did they warn him and say, don't ride that curb so hard? Like, cause you'll hear that on the team radios, like, hey, less curb in turn 11 or something like that. But they never showed any of that. And
it just popped.
He was hauling. He had a good race going with Bortoleto, and
well, isn't that what happened to Bortoleto's car in Australia? It was into suspension failure as well? Or did they never really like fully break down what it was?
I don't remember.
I don't know. That's probably quite a pull for the first race. One funny thing I wanted to take note of, Lance Stroll last week. Last weekend was, I think, sixth place or eighth place. Lance Stroll was eighth place last weekend. This weekend, he's
Dead last.
clocking in 18th place. It's just
Yeah.
this has just been his season. It's crazy that happens. Also, a discussion we had last week, where I was like, I want Pierre Gasly out of that seat. Let's get him somewhere new. Don't worry, he just signed an extension, I think, until 2028.
Yeah, dude, 3 more
So,
years.
I mean, he's gonna take a seat over everything, obviously, but
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
they're paying him the big bucks too, and I mean, so what? He's going to gamble with this new regulation thing. Maybe they figure something out, and after
Well, they
3
want
years,
Mercedes power unit.
any better.
Yeah, they want
That's
Mercedes
not
power
a
unit.
problem, dude. I mean, yeah, that engine's a tractor engine, but regardless, they got more to figure out. That car looks like a Lego.
It's so bad. It's
It
kind of.
just looks slow.
I know. I don't get it. But it should be interesting to see what happens next year for that. That second seat, I have no idea what it's going to be.
Yeah.
They're paying Franco so much. I feel like it might have to be. But if Franco just gets dumped off by Alpine, I mean, James Vowles is gonna be like, "Thanks, I'll take him back. Thanks for the 30 million, by the way." And then it's like, "See you later."
Yeah.
So that'll be cool to see. I was gonna say one more thing. Lawson's out of the points. Yuki's out of the points. I guess that second Red Bull seat's not even a discussion anymore for next year. It's gonna be Isaac.
Yeah.
Yuki's probably out of the sport. I think they probably keep Lawson as like a Pierre Gasly or Yuki Tsunoda. They'll probably keep him way too long in that RB seat if he keeps doing what he's doing, scoring
Do you
points.
think Yuki's out of the sport?
I think so. I don't think there's a seat available for him, unless the only seat available for him is another Aston Martin seat.
So you think that?
We're also assuming that George Russell signs with Mercedes because, by the way, that still hasn't happened.
I thought they locked that up.
I thought they didn't. I haven't heard anything about it yet. I thought it was like a verbal commitment. Yeah, let's see. George Russell contract is not yet signed. Yeah, no, 2026 isn't signed yet.
Bruised by Verstappen talks, but Verstappen's locked in.
Yeah, Verstappen's locked in long-term deal with Red Bull. Yeah, I just don't see there being a spot for Yuki next year.
Yeah. So what? You think that? What's the kid's name coming in for Red Bull?
Marvin Lindblad.
Lindblad.
Yeah, I think
You think he's the lock in RB seat?
I think Haas stays. I think Audi stays. Cadillac, we know what it is now, so those guys aren't going to take anybody's seats.
I will say, Yuki and I'm trying to think who a teammate. I mean, Yuki and Fernando would be cool at Aston Martin.
It'd be funny. Fernando does a great job of throwing people under his wing. If he can take Stroll, he would love having Yuki. I have no doubt about that. He
doesn't even take Stroll. That's the thing. Stroll's just there.
Yeah, Stroll really is just existing. The only person that really does a good job of trying to like include Stroll is Esteban.
Yeah,
that's like basically it. Like that's his friend on the paddock. But yeah, no. I mean, if we're just
Esteban didn't have any friends either, though.
Yeah, but if we're just looking at teams, Alpine is the big question mark for the second seat. Hey, maybe they get Yuki. What if we do a Pierre Gasly Yuki? There's no way. There's no way. Haas definitely stays the same. They're gonna roll with Ali and Esteban.
For sure.
Audi definitely stays the same. Both of them have pretty good contracts. Racing Bulls, it's going to be Lindblad, Lawson. Aston Martin is the only question mark with the Honda power unit. Potentially Yuki goes to the second seat, but that is if Lance Stroll retires and he's actually weirdly having a good year. He's in the driver standings at freaking 11th with 32 points right behind Nico Hulkenberg. So he's not having a bad year.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, and he would be 10th if Nico didn't have that podium.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like Lance Stroll's not having a bad year. So he's not leaving based on performance. He's leaving based on I don't want to be in the sport or I'm injured or whatever. Williams, both of them are. Albon signed, I think, through 2027 or 2028.
Yeah.
And then Carlos is signed through the end of next year. I wouldn't be shocked if Carlos dips unless the car is actually very good next year.
Nah, I don't think he'll dip.
I think he will dip. I think he'll dip after 2026 unless the car is extremely competitive. But him dipping is just a gut feeling that like he's not going to go to Red Bull, but like a gut feeling that maybe like Ferrari would want him back. And if Ferrari wants him back and their car is here's the thing, Ferrari's car could be worse than Williams. So if their car is as good if not better than Williams, I think he'll take it. But
yeah.
Red Bull Racing has
It's going to get interesting at the end of next year. because we're going to have a grip on. I mean, at the end of next year, you're going to have the teams that are good, that have a lot of money, that are going to play catch up. Like a team could suck next year, like just use Mercedes, like they did the first year with that when they tried the zero side pod thing. They weren't good. I think they still squeezed out a race win, but like they were not good. They were inconsistent as hell. And then the next year, boom, they were in it.
Who's your team out of competitive teams that you think is going to suck next year?
Oh boy. I mean, it's hard to say. It won't be Mercedes again.
No. They're seemingly the front runner based on all the talks.
I mean, you want my hot take?
Sure.
McLaren.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have a crazy fall off.
Well, I mean, if you master these regulations, it just is hard for me to think that you can turn around and then go
Yeah,
master
just
the other ones. Yeah.
flip switch and go be a dog.
That's
Doesn't
kind
work
of where
like
my
that.
brain was a little bit too. The easy